Alrighty, hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the One Day Podcast. Let me just make sure that I'm comfy before we get into this. But I'm Lizelle,
Yep, and I'm Alan.
and we're back.
We are back.
What's been going on in the world lately?
Nothing much. Actually, you were telling me about the Johnny Depp
Yeah.
case right now, right?
See, I keep up with what's going on, and I keep you updated with what's going on
Yeah,
because I'm staying updated.
yeah. I'm
But I
super
think
oblivious to. I just asking, hey, what's going on all the time?
that's okay. But I think by the time this episode comes out, maybe the whole thing will be over. I
Right.
don't know. I'm not sure if what's coming up is like the final week,
hmm
but yeah, there's been some pretty crazy one-liners in there. I'll just say
Crazy.
that.
As far as what you've seen so far, evidence, the storyline, what do you, in general, what do you think about the case?
I feel like they're both not perfect,
No,
obviously. I'm not going to say like Johnny is innocent, like he didn't do anything wrong. I think they both did things
for
wrong.
sure.
But perhaps she has skewed and exaggerated what he
Yep.
did. So there's that. But I think from what I can see on social media and the way that the public online and whatnot is looking at all of this
Yep.
and the way that they're being received, I think that everybody is more so in favor of Johnny
Right.
rather than Amber. I mean, you just have to see when they pull up to the courthouse, it's like a whole parade for Johnny, and then for Amber, it's like fuck that bitch. Like, like nobody wants to see her. They're like booing her,
Hmm.
and I mean that already tells you a lot in itself. But you just never know the way that the jury is going to go.
Right.
You really don't.
I mean, that whole thing, because it really the beginning. Like, when did this come out? Like months ago, right? Like, was
I
it a
think
year?
her claims of like domestic violence were back in 2018. I think that's when she first came to the
Oh
public
wow! So
and publicly said it.
I mean, for him, damaging his reputation and like pulling out like with endorsements and movies and like that really
Mm.
damaged his career. So like obviously for him, everyone's rooting for him. Even though like you said, what's crazy is like, okay, I think the person that's gonna win this is the less crazier one. You know, they're both crazy, right?
Yeah,
So
I get what you're saying.
but yeah,
I
it's
mean,
just
for her to some of the things that she says, I'm like, is she serious?
I mean from what was the other one? The makeup one, right? You told me about how
Yeah, she was talking about because obviously they're doing their cross
yeah,
examinations, and the lawyer was asking her, like, how is it that we don't see any of your bruisings or
right.
like your injuries?
hmm
Sorry. She was like, you claim that he was like repeatedly punching you in the nose so many times that you lost count. And he has like big chunky rings on. How come we don't see any
Yeah,
marks on you
right.
when you're literally at this red carpet event the next night?
Right.
And she was like, well, I concealed it really well. And they're like, so concealer covers up swelling? And
hmm
she's like, no, but I iced it. Like ice
Right.
really made it come down. I don't think no amount of like ice or concealer can, I don't know.
If you get
I
punched,
don't
if
know.
you get punched in the nose with rings, that's gonna leave a mark, and it's gonna be a couple
Hell
of
yeah.
days. That
Mm,
bruising, and
mm,
swelling. And what was the other
yeah.
one you were telling me about where she's like she definitely was putting on a show when she was crying, right? Or like when she was blowing her nose.
Yeah. There's like TikToks out because obviously everybody is analyzing this, but they're like super analyzing it where they're
Right.
taking freeze frames and slowing things down and whatnot. And I don't know, there was like this weird moment where she goes to blow her nose, but it's not a natural movement. She's like blowing it and then she stops and like almost poses. And then
Right.
like you see a camera flash because they're like taking pictures in the
Oh
courtroom,
wow.
and then I don't know, like I'm not sure. So um
It's so
yeah,
fake.
you just never know the way that the jury is going to go though. You really don't. I mean, we saw
hmm
that with we've seen that many times. I mean, if we take
Right.
it back to like OJ, everybody
Right.
really thought that like he is going
Man,
to
he's done.
prison, but
Yep.
yeah,
But the
so you just
the
never
last
know.
one got me though when they kept when Johnny Depp's lawyer was asking her about her donation, and she's telling the media that she donated the $7 million that he gave her. That was
Yeah.
insane.
She was so adamant about like they said, so sitting here today, you have not donated the $7 million that you received for the divorce settlement that you said you would donate. You have not donated it. She's like, well, I've pledged
I
it.
pledged.
Pledge and donate aren't the same thing.
I pledged 7 million. Like
I
what?
donate to the flag
Right?
of the United States of America.
Like who says
Yeah,
I pledged? If you were a kid in school, I'm like, oh, I pledged my homework for tomorrow.
right. And she even tried to like kind of um use for an example like, well, when you buy a house, you pledge to pay it off. Girl, please,
That's a
like that's a
installment. That's
different
payment. It's
thing.
totally
Yeah,
different.
that's a different thing. For anybody who's not keeping up with all of this stuff, this none of this is going to make sense. But essentially, like she received $7 million from the divorce settlement
Yep.
from Johnny, and she said she didn't want any of that money, and she was going to be donating it to charity,
Right.
and she never donated it. And then 13 months later, like over a year later, is when he sued her, and so her excuse was like, well, he sued me. And everyone's like, well, you had over a year to
A
donate it.
year.
If you
Yeah.
really didn't want the money, why did you hold on to it for that long? So there's that as well. Mm,
She pledged all of seven
she
million.
pledged. I'm gonna say that from now on. If anyone ever asks like
Right.
something, I'll be pledging that to you.
Right.
So yeah, that's what's going on at the moment. That's what I have like been seeing the most of
Right.
online and whatnot. Before we get into today's episode, you guys, actually today's episode's going to be a lot more chill.
Yep.
We're just going to be playing a
Yep.
game on game, because we're going to be doing our little game segment at the
Right.
beginning, and then we're going to be playing a game afterwards. But we figured that we'd just do a game of Would You Rather for today's episode. Super casual, but
It's fun.
I thought it was a good idea.
When
Yeah.
you spoke to me about this, I really wasn't into it because I didn't know what the questions were.
You
So I'm
didn't
like,
know?
would I
Yeah.
rather? And the reason being is because my daughter kept asking me, "Would you?" She came back. She came back one day from school or from her mom's house, like in the weekend, and she was just kept asking me, "Would you rather?" And then I'm like, I kind of don't like this game because the example she was giving me was kind of like it just
her
didn't make
her
sense.
questions are so funny. Like when she's on the phone with me, she'll ask me, she'll be like, Lizelle, would you rather eat cake or drive a car? And I'm like, it's so random.
It's cute, but I'm like,
It's so cute.
eat a cake, like
And so I just be saying like random things back to her as well, like the most random things. And she gets so
right.
excited. She's like, oh my gosh, that's so hard. Like, I don't know which one to pick.
It's clear cut. Eat a
It
cake.
is so funny. But yeah, before we get into that, we're gonna do our. I wish I had a name
I
for it.
wish
I
we
still don't have a
did.
name for
We
it,
don't.
or like
What?
a little jingle to play.
Oh, maybe we'll come up with a jingle before.
I'll sing the theme song.
Right.
But yeah, we're not really strangers. We're gonna pull a card each, and
hmm
ask each other the questions. So who's gonna go first,
Hmm.
my love?
I think I've been going first, so I would like have you go first. Ladies first this time.
Okay. All right. We're gonna be getting deep with my question.
Hmm.
So, how do I show you that I love you without telling you?
Hmm. So our situation is li- a lot different from a normal relationship, right? Where everyone's like
Mm-hmm.
in the same city, they either live together or see each other. So for us, since we have the long distance between us, you definitely had shown like you the little things that you shown how you love me without telling me are
Mm-hmm.
it's very apparent. Like it's as small as like you're very in tune to like what I need, right? So whenever like I say, "Hey, I need to go to the grocery store, or I need to buy something in the grocery store," and I would just like blur it out. Oh, I need like toothpaste, I need this. And you'd actually like write it down and text it to me, or like if I needed something like skincare, I just recently got into your skincare routine,
Mm-hmm.
and you surprised me with ordering something through Amazon. And I'm like, because my schedule is so busy that like sometimes I forget how to do these things or just the little tasks. So like you surprising me with those type of things and you ordering the little things for me helps a bunch. And that to me, like how you show your love, like the little things that you do for me counts. So
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think that's probably one of my love languages is like
mm-hmm.
acts of service.
Hmm.
But because I can't be with you, the way that I do that is through like any means that I can. Like
Yeah,
if I hear you say like, "Oh, I need to get this," I'm gonna just order it on Amazon and like send
right.
it your way because that's the only thing I can do. Otherwise, like if we were living together, then yeah, I would go and
Mm-hmm.
get it for you, or um, I would do things for you. Does that make sense?
Right.
Like I feel like I don't know, that's just how I love. Like
Yeah.
I like to show love by doing things for people because it's like how I like this question says, like how do you show love
Yeah.
without actually saying it? So,
Yeah, I really appreciate
yeah.
it. Like you really really listen to me and do the little things that it saves me some time to do. Because like again, my schedule is so packed that like I
Mm,
sometimes it's so hard for me to like there's days that I'm like, man, my list of to do list is so long where you
yeah.
make it so easy for me to. And again, I really appreciate because you're all the way in the other side of the world. So for you even to do that, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, that's like my advice for anybody else who is
Mm-hmm.
long distance. You know, there's so many things that you can do, like in that instance, where there's like little things that I know that you need. But if it's something that you don't have time to go and get, I'm like, I'm just going to make it easier for him and I'll just like send it to his place.
Mm-hmm.
Or I've also heard of like, you know, you can get Uber Eats delivered to like people, right?
Right.
So you can even like if you know your partner like hasn't eaten or hasn't had time to like cook or whatever it is, you can like send something to them,
Right.
and even that in itself is like such a big help. It's
Mm-hmm.
little things like that, and that doesn't just go for long distance. I feel like you can do those things
For
even
sure.
like when you're in a regular relationship as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's like a way to showcase acts of service without
Mm-hmm.
actually having to like be physically present, because I know that is like difficult sometimes. Like we do lose a lot of things when it comes to long distance. Like there's obviously a lot of things that we can't do.
Right.
So I'd say yeah, that's yeah,
And I would
what I
say,
like to do.
speaking of which, like not like you mentioned, even if you're together, one thing I
Mm.
know you do as well is text me in the morning or text me just something really, really nice and sweet. And I
Oh.
think that you, I know your love language you know, is that. So it's easy for you to just show your emotion and tell me how you feel. But those little things mean a lot to me as well when I read them. When I wake up in the morning and I read, all your texts. Because, like, you can be doing that as well with your partner. Like, if your wife or your partner go to work, you can send them a little
Mm.
text. It
Yeah.
doesn't cost, but it means so much,
Oh
and it
my gosh,
doesn't
it
take much
does
time.
because it lets them know that you're thinking of them. And that's such a
Right,
good feeling when it's like not expected and it just comes out of nowhere.
right.
To just receive that text, like, I was thinking about you, like, you know, a
Mm,
few sweet things,
right.
like that definitely can enlighten like somebody's mood, change their day.
Yep.
Like it's the little things and that literally cost nothing. So
Hmm. Do that.
I think reversing that question,
Yeah.
how do you show love to me
Mm-hmm.
without actually telling me? Same thing, sending me sweet texts and whatnot. Like I love when you do that. But overall, like generally is when you give me your time,
Hmm.
because I know your time, anyone's time is so valuable,
Right.
but I know that you can get so busy. So when you literally clear things to spend time with me,
Mm-hmm.
or even if it's not so scheduled, because I know that we do plan out like, okay, I'm free this day, let's like hang out, like spend time together on this
Right.
day. But even if something happens and I'm going through something,
Mm-hmm.
when you drop everything to just be like, okay, let me
Yeah.
take a minute to like be with her and help her with whatever she's going through, that definitely means a lot to me, because yeah, time is very valuable.
Super valuable. Yeah, you're right. Like you said to me, like that's the most valuable thing you could give to somebody. So, and I
Yeah, your
actually,
time.
for me, it's definitely like a small mini vacation for me though, because it's like I work so much and I do so much in a day that like if I can get out of it and like go watch something with you, even as like taking a small little break. You're like, oh, let's go watch this some TikToks. I love those
Yeah,
little
I
moments
do that,
because I
yeah.
take some time just spending time with you, FaceTiming you, and talking to you.
Mm,
To me, that means a lot because it's like I do
mm,
so much in a day that those are like my mini breaks of the day that I have.
yeah. But I think, yeah, definitely when I know that you're busy, but you
Mm-hmm.
really take the time to just stop everything and be like, okay, she needs me right now, let me be there for her.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely shows me that you love me.
Yeah,
As corny as that
I
sounds.
try. All right, so my turn right now. Let me see. Okay, so the question is, what assumption did you make about me that turned out to be right?
Another deep, another deep one.
Right.
um, okay. For us, it was different because it's not like I saw you in person and I
Hmm.
didn't really know you, so I was like assuming things about you.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like when you kind of like meet someone and you're like interested, but you don't know much about them, so you can kind of assume some things.
Hmm.
For us, it was like we were getting to know each other, so all my assumptions were already, there was nothing to assume, right?
Right.
But I think for what I can relate to in terms of assumptions would be that you're very consistent.
Hmm.
I mean that in the sense of like when Alan and I were getting to know each other, there was no, obviously we're online, we're talking every day through our phones,
Hmm.
and he just showed me that he was really serious and genuine. Like there was never a day where I was like, where is he? Like I haven't heard from him. Like I don't know what's going on. Like you were always consistent,
Right.
very genuine, and I never had to question about like, oh, I don't know how he feels about me, cuz you straight up tell me like every day how you felt,
Hmm.
and it was, there was no question about it. And when we came to meet in person, it was the same thing. So it wasn't like you were just trying to put on like this kind of like good act of like, let me do all this to impress her
Hmm.
and like get her in get me in her good books and like, impress her, as I
In the
said.
beginning.
But you've just stayed that way through and through. Like you've always been that way. So there's never been a time where, you know how they say like, oh, you don't do the things that you used to do in the beginning. Like what happened? Like you've changed.
Hmm.
You don't put in any effort anymore. You still stay putting in the effort to this day, even though we've been together for however many, how long we been together, babe?
I have no clue anymore. It's just been
I have lost track of the years.
the that whole pandemic year kind of just is some a blur.
Yeah.
That 2 years itself. So
Yeah.
it's been a while. It's been years
Yeah.
now.
And of course, like naturally in every relationship, once you become
Hmm.
settled and like in your routine, you have a feel for each other, maybe you might not need to put in as much effort anymore. But I
Yeah.
think for you, you've always stayed consistent. You've never left me feeling like what's up with him? Like, does he like me? Is he serious about me? Is this genuine? Like you've always been that way. So yeah, I think that's like
Hmm.
what I can say is like an assumption, because I was like, wow, this guy's like for real. Like, I don't have to question him about like, is he really serious about me? You've always been that way.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of relationships are like. Once they get comfortable and they stop doing the things that they did in the beginning, now it just seemed like you were doing it to impress them, you know. But that's, I don't know. That's just how I roll, I guess. I mean, I like to, like, I've learned in the past and who I am today, where if I continue, like I've always told you, like I'm gonna always get to know you, you know, till we get old and gray, where I'm still gonna learn new things about you, and I'm gonna consistently try to put in that effort all the time to do the same thing that I've done in the beginning.
Mm,
And that's, yeah, that's just something I've learned in the past. Like that's really important to me. To go reverse and, you know, what I assumed. Again, I think because we did have that distance, um, took us like a whole year of talking. And one thing I definitely noticed out of your character is how kind and how nice you are as a person. And like you said, you're pretty consistent with all that stuff. And just like how genuinely generous you are. Because like we were talking about earlier, like you would take the time to listen and cater to what I need. So like when all these things I noticed when we weren't together or haven't met each other, when we finally got together and spent time together, it's you're pretty consistent as well. You know, you've always
okay.
shown how nice you are. You've always shown how kind and how giving. Like you literally would take your shirt off your back and give it to somebody. And you've always done that for me and my daughter and anyone around me. Like if it's some, like if my mom needs anything, you know, you've just been very nice and genuine and real. So that's always something that I always like. Wow, she's like the nicest person I've ever known. Seriously.
Oh,
So yeah.
it wasn't just an act.
Uh, you know what? It's really important because I've definitely have been in those type of, not just like a romantic relationship, but like even friends where at first they're just nice in the beginning, and then next thing you know, you just see their true colors later on. They're like,
Mm,
oh yeah, you're out there for yourself. You were out there
mm.
just to look good in the beginning, but and like you're the first person that threw me under the bus or like just didn't have my back. So I've
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
learned that in the past. I've had friends come and go, and I'm like, oh wow. So you really were out there for yourself like that.
I think it's like very natural though, of course, when you first meet somebody,
Right.
romantic or friendship, you know. Um, you're gonna put your best self forward and
True.
like do all the right things, say all the right things. But obviously, as time goes by and you become more comfortable with
Mm-hmm.
people, like you said, yeah, your true colors do come out. But for people who genuinely love and care for you,
Hmm.
that's when you really do get to see, like, okay, how do they really feel about me?
Right.
Because if somebody is like super nice to you in the beginning of a relationship, and then later on they get comfortable, settle into their ways, and then they're just constantly, you know, mean or like irritated, then that kind of shows you like, okay, so do they really care about me, or was it just like
Hmm.
something to like showcase like what happened type thing? You know what
Right.
I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I've definitely been in relationships like that in the past where that's happened, but I think that's very normal. Like that happens, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where like as corny as it sounds, like love really does prevail and show through. Like, how are you going to treat me when you're not at your best really
Mm.
shows like who you are as a person and how you feel like towards me,
Right.
you know? So yeah, I always factor that in.
So that's it. That's the game. We still need to come up with that
We
name.
got deep with today's
You're right.
questions.
It's supposed to be a
Really
light,
deep and corny.
fun, you know, episode.
Yeah, that was very serious.
Well, this
Anyways,
is the
to
fun
line things
part. You're
up,
right.
yeah, we're going to be playing a game of Would You Rather. I'm sure everybody knows how this works. You basically put out two options and you pick which one you would rather out of the two. So we're going to do
Mm,
that and then we're going to give our reasoning as to why. This is actually completely random. It's an app that I have on my phone.
yeah.
I don't know what any of the questions are. You don't know what the questions are. But we've played this like before, like just on the phone when we're,
Hmm.
talking to each other, but it's always random. Like I don't know what the questions are going to be. So I will be asking the questions.
Let's go.
You ready?
Yep.
You ready, my love?
I'm ready.
So,
Hmm.
first question. Would you rather have the ability to know when somebody is lying to you
Hmm.
or never have anyone lie to you again?
Um. Hmm.
That's tough, right?
It's very tough because the
Mm,
first thing I think about is no one's perfect,
yeah.
right? So if you think about it that way, like, would you rather know someone lying to you, which is inevitable? Like, no one's really perfect, or even the second option, right? Like, no one would ever lie to you ever again.
Mm.
Like, how perfect is that? You know, I don't know. That's pretty tough.
I mean, okay, I'll say I think for my own sanity, I would rather.
I think I know what you're gonna pick.
Really? You do?
All right, go ahead.
Okay, I would rather have no one ever lie to me again.
Oh wow, I'm very surprised.
See, you think you know me, babe. Because
Wow.
I think for myself,
Huh.
if somebody approaches me, right, and they're just saying a white lie, like a random white lie,
Hmm.
I cannot stand liars. Let me say that. I cannot stand liars. I would rather be told the truth than to find out later that I've been lied to. A lie hurts a lot more than the truth that hurts. Do you know what I mean? So if someone comes to me and is like putting forth a random little white lie, like, oh, I love that shirt on you, but in their mind, they're like,
Hmm.
that shirt sucks. I'm
Yeah.
going to be like,
But
mentally I'm
why?
going to be like, why are they lying? What's there
Right.
to lie about?
Hmm.
Like what are they lying for? Like are they genuine? Like that's just the way that my brain works because I'm a thinker. So if I know that people are going to lie to me about like
Okay.
little things, if I invited somebody to something and they were like, "Yeah, I'd love to go." They're lying. Why are they lying? Like they don't need to lie to me. Like what are they lying for? If they don't want to go, they can just tell me. Do you
Right.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd just rather people be open, straight up, honest, because I can't stand
To not lie to you. Okay.
liars, white liars, whatever. There's no need.
You've
Like,
you convinced me. Okay. That I would
really?
lean towards that too.
Okay,
Right. You'd
yeah.
rather have somebody tell you the truth than like for them to lie to you. So
Exactly. Like, I don't want to have the ability of knowing when people are lying to me. I would just rather everybody be
that would
straight
drive
up,
you
open, and honest
nuts.
with me.
That would
Yeah,
drive you
hell yeah, I
nuts.
would.
You're like
Yes.
a walking lie detector.
Yeah. All right. Next
Okay.
one. Would you rather win a 1 day shopping spree to any store
Hmm.
or win a 2 week vacation to any destination?
Wait. Shopping spree on any store or
So 1 day shopping spree to any store.
no limit?
Shopping spree, babe.
Any store.
Any store.
Okay, I had some stuff in mind. Go ahead.
Or, I knew you would say that. Or a 2 week vacation to any destination in the world.
Fuck the destination, because I can do that myself. I can go buy it and spend 2 weeks if I wanted to. I'm going to the shopping spree. I'm buying. I'm
Yeah,
buying a jet. I'm
mm,
going to go to a jet place or like a Lamborghini place. I'm not even thinking about
but it's
like
only one
retail.
store.
Oh, I don't
No, I'm
care.
like,
I'm
no,
buying. I'm clearing out the whole counter of Lamborghinis. I could resell
baby.
it.
Oh, okay. I wasn't thinking that
I
sense.
did.
I
Like
was
I could
thinking like,
resell
oh, I'm
those
gonna go
things.
to like a home store. What's
I
that
thought
store you
about
told me about?
which one.
Um, this
Um,
is so
Well, there's Crane.
Restoration Hardware or
Yes,
something like
definitely
that.
that and Crane Barrel.
I would,
Ball out like
yeah.
just
Mm-hmm. Deck out the whole place.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, my hustler side just said I'm going to a Lambo store and
I
buying
was like, what
every
are you gonna do
fucking
with the
I'm buying
Lamborghinis?
every Lambo in there and reselling it. Or
I
like
get
go
it.
to like a
Yeah.
jewelry place and resell it because Rolex, like if you buy like my shout out to my guy Greg, he like put me on game, but like the resale of Rolex, like it's not like buying other things where you could buy a sneaker and some prices like go up on Rolex, it can go up like 50% like the next year. You could buy a Rolex for like 15,000 or 20,000. It would be 30, 40 the following year. And you can wear it already. Obviously,
Oh,
you
okay.
don't have to
Yeah.
damage it or anything. So I'd go to a
Hmm.
jewelry place and like clear out the whole watch, and like,
And
the whole
resell.
thing and resell some of the stuff. Cause
Okay, I
like,
see. See, I was thinking more of like, oh, I would like to make the house a home and make it all beautiful for the family. But you're like, let me get
nah,
this
I'm
hustle
hustling.
on.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought about.
Okay,
Like
that's
that two
smart.
weeks thing, that 2 weeks, like that ain't shit. Like
Oh
I
yeah, the
hell
vacation,
no,
that's
I
fine. I don't need
definitely
that. That's
would
too quick.
do a shopping spree anywhere. Yep.
Okay. Smart, smart. Okay. Next one.
Huh.
Would you rather never be able to compliment or never be able to complain?
Never, definitely complain.
Never be able to complain.
Yeah.
Like that means you can't even complain about like, oh, I have a headache today. Oh, I'm
No,
not feeling well.
I rather give out better vibes and good energy. So like for me to
Mm,
complain and bitch and complain about certain things, I rather keep that to myself than what was the first option?
never be able
Never.
to compliment.
Yeah, I because compliment is a positive thing. I'd rather compliment than complain. So
I
I definitely
agree.
complain. I would definitely compliment first and complain about the world and how bad it
Yeah.
is because it's really not that bad.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. I would rather never be able to complain because positive vibes only.
Yep,
I'm still working on that myself, like trying to stay more
we all
on the
are.
upside than the downside.
All right.
So if I can cut out complaining,
Yeah.
that's fine
I,
with
I,
me.
I say that like that's a pet peeve of mine, but I'm
Mm,
not gonna be like I'm not saying oh I'm an angel either. Like I don't complain. Obviously we all do it, but if I could complain less and just like think about solutions and thinking more positive, then I'd rather do that than complain.
yeah.
I
And I feel
really
like
can't
compliments are
stand it.
way better
For
anyway.
sure. Any day.
Like, do you know how much it can light up someone's day if you just give them a
Yeah.
compliment? So,
I mean, as twisted or weird as this sound, imagine like those people that like did all these mass shootings. If they had more attention from people and compliment and get attention from like their loved ones, maybe they wouldn't have committed those type of act of they wouldn't shoot any.
perhaps
Yeah, so it does go a
it
long
could
way.
change the trajectory of like what they
Yeah,
plan to do. You never know.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next one is,
Hmm.
would you rather never wear shoes for the rest of your life
Okay.
or never drive a car for the rest of your life?
Shit.
I knew this would be a difficult one for you because I know how you are with shoes.
Oh shit. I didn't even. Honestly, I honestly didn't even
See,
think about that side of myself. That like I
oh,
love
okay. I was
shoes.
thinking about
Holy
you with
crap! I
shoes.
totally disregarded the love of shoes I have. You know.
Yeah.
Um. I because the first thing you said be barefoot. I was thinking. I'm like, well, if I live in the beach, I'll be good, right? Like if I
No, I
live in
don't think I could do
paradise.
it.
So you would rather give up a car, right, than give up wearing shoes.
It said never drive. I can Uber.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
I'd Uber
But I
and
can't be out here. Okay,
with your
if we
feet
go
out.
out for dinner in a fancy restaurant, how can I
True.
be barefoot in there?
Yeah, but we could
You know what I
Uber.
mean?
We could Uber
Shoes,
there.
shoes is like any shoes, even Crocs. You know what I mean? And yeah,
True.
exactly like you just said, we can Uber there. So
Huh.
if I never have to drive, that's not a bad thing. As much as like I'm
Hmm.
cool with driving, if I don't have to drive, okay,
Or you could buy a car. I could buy a car and have you drive it. So I don't have to drive.
exactly. I could be the driver.
I'd
Yeah,
let go of driving. That's cool.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
There
Yeah.
you go. That's the answer.
Never drive a car. All right. Um, sheesh. This one's like heavy. Okay. Would you rather never die or have unlimited money?
Be immortal or hmm,
Do you know what this reminds me of?
which one?
That movie.
With Justin Timberlake?
Yes.
In
You know
Time.
exactly what
It's
I'm
called
thinking.
In Time.
In
That's
time.
honestly that's probably one of my those type of movies, and like Fahrenheit. I forgot. I keep forgetting the number, but the book I read in high school. Those I love those type of movies, just because it
Yeah.
gives you the value of time and money,
Yes.
and the
I love
value of
that. The
time and
whole.
money. Yeah.
Mm,
So that movie is like it hits home. I love that movie because of that concept.
yeah.
Um,
Because time is money.
yeah, I mean, what you do in your time is gonna affect you, whether it's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
positive or negative. So it's really precious. It's like the most
Mm,
valuable thing we have. We own is
yeah.
time.
Yeah. I mean, as much as time is like a social construct,
Yeah.
in society, when you work, yes, you're earning money, but how are you doing that with your time? Because you're going to a job
Mm,
for X amount of hours in your day.
yeah.
So, that this question, like, never die or have
Or have unlimited.
unlimited money.
Um,
Because if you have unlimited money, what if you die tomorrow?
that's true. But
But then I resort to my motto: I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
what? Okay, so let me answer that now. I will take the money.
I knew
And
you
the
would.
reason for that, not because, yeah, you would be set for your whole life, but
Mm.
just if you're the only one that's immortal, imagine seeing your family go through,
Oh, yeah.
getting older, and then you're
Yeah.
still living and they're all long gone. And it's like you would want to die at one point, like not having them
Mm.
around. So it's like,
Yeah.
I'd rather, like you said, I'd rather enjoy my time while I have it and not worry. Like if you have unlimited money, you don't need to worry about that part of your life where you can do the things you love, right? Like you could go wherever you
Mm.
want, do whatever you want, and you don't need to be tied down to like a desk or a job where you can just freely live your life and just do whatever you want. Travel, experience new food or location,
Mhm.
destination, treat everybody like your Oprah. Here's a car.
You get
Yeah,
a
you
car.
get a
You get a
car.
car.
Exactly. Like you could put up charities. So you could do so much
True.
good in
Yeah,
having
actually,
unlimited money.
unlimited money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could do so much
Right.
for everybody. Yeah, that unlimited.
I mean, I don't care how much a sneaker costs now. Like I can buy a resale. I don't care
Mm,
for releases and drops. I'll just get it.
mm,
So yeah,
yeah,
and
but
you
I
can
was
do
just
good.
thinking in the sense of like, yeah, helping others, like
Yeah.
people who are poverty stricken or
Right.
struggling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, definitely the unlimited money.
Right.
All right, next one. Would you rather stop showering
Okay.
or stop brushing your teeth?
Ooh,
They're both bad.
we had that question before. It's
Yeah,
similar.
but different.
It's
Yeah.
either you have a body odor or you have bad breath.
Or stinky breath.
All
Yeah.
right. Holy crap. I forgot how I
So,
answered
would
this.
you rather stop showering or stop brushing your teeth?
I said with that other question that I would rather have bad breath and stinky teeth than having body odor, because at least the stinky teeth
Couldn't be me.
is something I can hold in. If you're like
You'd just be walking around
you
like,
walking around not talking, I rather do that than like stink, like getting next to someone and they're like, wow, I can't really stand being next to this person because they reek. Like that body odor is insane.
everyone will be social distancing
It's your whole life,
all day.
6 feet. You know?
Yeah. So you're saying you would rather stop brushing your teeth?
Yeah.
Hell no, babe. I'm sorry. I okay. I you know how adamant I am about like teeth care, obviously,
For
because like I've
sure.
had braces and that really like kicked my mindset into gear of like the importance of taking care of your teeth. So like even if I start to feel, you know, when you eat something and
Yeah.
then you start to feel like I need to brush my
On your
teeth.
teeth. Yeah.
I don't know how I could always have that feeling in my mouth. Like I just couldn't. And like the thought of like plaque building up, you know how sometimes we watch those videos of like
Uh
people getting their plaque cleaned off?
right.
Woo, it's like
You could
imagine.
you could literally smell it through the screen. We're watching there
Stop.
like, oh,
Yeah, it's pretty I couldn't imagine like dealing with that personally. I understand everybody has like different circumstances, but I would rather stop showering and hear me out. I have a go around. You can still do like a the bird bath, you know what I mean? Like go wash the cloth and scrub yourself down like that. That's not showering. I'll go jump in the river
um
if I have to do that to get clean.
yeah,
Do you know
you
what I
could do
mean?
other things.
I'll
You're not
stand
going
in
to
the
be as
rain.
clean as you usually obviously scrub yourself and all that, but
Mhm.
okay. Well, you know what?
That's my
Shower or brush. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so there's a loophole there
that's my
for
loophole.
okay. So loophole, you're just gonna wait for the rain to come. Just wait till it comes and stand outside with soap.
Yeah. Mhm. That's what I would pick. Okay, next question. Would you rather, and I already know you're going to get heated about this.
Mm.
Would you rather instantly have a 4-year college degree and all the knowledge included?
Oh god.
You're already like I'm picking the other one.
Yeah, exactly.
Or have $100,000 in cash.
A degree or cash, and
Yeah, a degree with like all the knowledge included or
I
100K.
think a lot of people would pick the degree because they're gonna be like, well, it's knowledge that I can make more money on and blase blase, whatever.
Mhm.
Honestly, because of my experience being in the industry I'm in, I was so much like I was taken back and kind of almost pissed off that I like went to college. Not that I did a 4 year thing. I only got my associates, and for what I do for a living, I think it's enough. I did the basics of like design, fashion design, and clothing construction and textiles. But being in the industry in the beginning, it pissed me off where I met so many people that didn't even go to school for what I do, and I'm like, fuck, I could have just
Mhm.
done that. I could. It's
Yeah,
honestly, it's not just what you know; it's who you know,
for
right?
sure.
And I'll even top that with something that I've learned. It's who you know and having the right attitude, right?
Mhm.
Because you could honestly, like, say you're at the right place at the right time, but for some reason you were pissed off that day, and that
Missed
person that
opportunity.
would have given you that opportunity saw your character, and you're like, well,
Mhm.
that guy is just pissed off because like a waiter didn't serve them properly, right?
Yeah.
You will miss out on so much opportunity just having a bad attitude,
Yeah,
right?
that's so true.
So
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna lean on the money first because
Okay.
being in the industry I'm in, well, it's a little bit different, right? Because if you're a doctor, you have to go through schooling. But for myself, I would definitely not have a degree and not waste 4 years of school and learn everything there. Because like a lot of education, it's always like evolving and it's getting better, especially technology. What
Mhm.
we know now is not what we're gonna do later on. Like all of
Mm.
the social media jobs now are all new. This
Yeah,
didn't exist before,
that's true. Yeah.
right? So I definitely would pick the money ASAP. Like compare, and I'm not shitting on like colleges or any degree. If
Oh,
you're gonna
definitely
go
not.
there, my biggest suggestion is know what you're going for. Don't go in there for like liberal arts just to figure out who you are and what. Like really have a plan on going there. Have your intentions of going to college to have that experience of being there and also knowing what you want. Because like a lot, like there's tons of studies where people get a degree and damn near more than half the population is not in that field. They like graduate and get that degree, but they're not doing that for a living.
Mm,
You waste 4 years of college not doing what you're doing, like what you went to school for.
yeah.
You waste
No,
all the
I'm
student
with
loans
you.
and all that stuff.
I'm with you on that. I think I would rather pick the money personally, just
Hmm.
because I feel like you can invest that and do more with that.
Right.
Um,
I mean, it's a good
that's
jump
just the
start.
way that, yeah, exactly. So we're both on the same page with that one. I
Yeah.
already knew which one you were going to pick,
I
but I
mean,
wanted to
if
ask.
you take the money and you want to learn a certain trade, like to cut hair, then you can go to schooling for that and pay the money that you just got. So,
Yeah, or you can invest it to open up
right.
a shop. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Well,
So
I'd
each to
say
their own.
because not everyone's business minded, right? Like, not everyone's like, oh, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to own this business. Take that
Mm,
money and learn a skill, learn something you actually
yeah.
love doing, you know?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, the next one is, would you rather
Yep.
have someone hear you having sex or have someone see you having sex?
Here, for sure. I rather have them hear me come, you know?
Yeah, I would rather have
I
them
don't
hear me.
care. I rather have them hear me all day.
I think if I know someone's like watching, I'm not going to be able to
I'm not gonna
like
perform the way I
yeah,
want
do what
to,
I want to do, you know? So yeah, I would definitely have to say I'd rather have somebody hear me
for
because
sure.
could like out of sight, out of mind. Like I don't have to
Exactly.
know.
Right.
Yeah. Mm,
I'm sure
I
everyone
already
would pick
know.
that, no? Or unless they're like they love performing.
Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. This one. Would you rather have a great relationship, but things are not so great in the bedroom?
Hmm.
Or have a bad relationship, but the sex is really good?
Fuck, that's hard.
Hmm.
That's a hard choice. Either long term, not getting along, but the sex is great,
Mm.
or not such a good sex, but
But
the
you guys are
relationship
like
is
really
great.
good. Yeah,
Shit, that's hard.
I know.
Cause like,
Because like I think about it, like if it's a really toxic relationship, like I'm talking like really bad, like
wow.
abuse, but then you guys like have good sex. I don't know if that's like a would you want to keep that up? Like is the sex really worth
I think
that, you
a
know?
lot of people go through that. Like they got shitty relationships where they get cheated on, but they only stay for the sex,
Um
right?
yeah, cuz the dick is that good. I get
Yeah,
it.
so it's like
But
I would take a good relationship and have mediocre sex because I feel like you can. I for myself, I would try to improve that.
I know
I
you'd
can
say
keep
that.
working on that. Like
Yeah.
she can get better. She can give you
Or maybe you
like,
can get
or I
better.
exactly. Well, in this case, it's always going to be that other person that's not good. So
Mm. So, yeah, I
I
would
would take
say
the better relationship,
yeah,
mediocre sex,
because there's nothing like peace. You know what I mean? If
peace
I'm
of
having
mind.
like stress but good sex, the good sex, yeah, that's great, but how long is that really lasting?
Hey, I could whack one off and be good and have a good relationship.
Yeah, but then you have to like yeah, I got to pick the good relationship.
Yeah,
Even as much as like I hold sex in a high regard because
right.
I think it's important to be on a good page with each other
For sure.
as
I
well.
mean, they're both long term. It's just that dealing with them and having a better relationship, you're not going to be like having sex 24 hours of the day, but I would want to get along with my partner more than that first. You're going to see them and be with them longer than having sex. So, yep, that's my answer.
Okay. Oh, okay. Next question. Would you rather be with a partner who was excessively affectionate in public
Okay.
or be with someone who never shows you any affection in public?
So like Courtney and
I
um
knew you were going to say that. Yeah, Courtney and Travis.
Travis.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Definitely affection all
Me
day.
too.
I
Yeah.
rather
I'm
show my
sorry.
affection and at least be
Mm,
an example of like, okay, well, they really love each other than like no
like damn, they really
like
love each other.
right or like, not showing affection at all.
Yeah, for me personally, I don't think that I could be with somebody who doesn't show me affection in public, because that would play on my mental, and I'd be like, why don't they?
Right.
Like, are they embarrassed about me?
Right.
Like, do they not want people to know that we're together?
Yep.
Like, that would I would get my feelings hurt if that was the case, because I need affection
Hmm.
both privately and publicly. Like,
Yeah.
I love that you're always so like touchy feely, even in like when we're out. Like, you always want to like hold my hand,
Hmm.
kiss me. So yeah, I don't think I could be like, it would hurt me to be with somebody who it's like they're like, I can't touch you in public, sorry. Just
Right.
walk beside me.
Hmm.
Like, don't even act like we're together. I couldn't. Yeah.
Yep. That's
I'd rather be
not
way over the
us.
top. Mm.
Right. I'd rather do that. Be OD on that.
All right. Are you ready for the
Hmm.
next one? Okay. Next one is, would you rather never be able to feel emotions
Hmm.
or never be able to show emotions?
Hmm.
This is a deep one.
I don't feel and show emotion as it is. Just
Yeah, I was going to
kidding.
say that's easy for you.
uh,
Meanwhile, for me,
huh. Feel or show, right?
yeah. Would you rather never be able to feel emotions or never be able to show emotions?
So, like, show, you can't show that you're mad. You can't show you're happy. You can't show
Mm.
you're angry or sad.
Hmm.
Or feel.
You just don't feel. You'd
Oh,
be
crap.
disconnected,
I'd rather not show
disassociated.
for sure. Because at least you would
Yeah.
be able to feel still. Even if you're not showing,
Yeah,
you'll
yeah,
still
yeah,
feel
yeah.
it inside. And you could explain
Yeah.
it. It's like, hey, I can't show it, but I can tell you how I'm feeling, you know?
Mm.
So,
Yeah, because I was thinking more in the sense of like, I'll pick like never be able to feel emotions, but I'm only thinking of like the negative emotions, right?
huh,
But what if you can never feel emotions? Like, you'll never feel love,
right?
you'll never feel happiness,
Happiness, yeah.
never feel joy.
That
Like,
sucks. Like,
what kind of life is that? So,
imagine going through the roller coaster and you're like, remember that TikTok you showed me? You
yeah,
just,
he's
the
just like,
guy's like,
yeah,
like
that's how you would be about
every
everything.
single
Like,
thing.
even if you ate something yummy, you can't be like, this is so good. Like, it's
Or
just,
like spicy or anything. You're like,
yep,
you're just
you
emotionless.
don't feel it. But if you can't show it, I feel
Yeah,
like that might be frustrating, because, like,
that's
I
true.
know for you, you're really good at picking up on my emotions. Like, if I'm happy, sad, whatever, you're really good at picking that up, and you're like,
I'm really good
hey,
at
what's up?
masking it too. Masking my emotion.
Yeah, you are. But if you weren't able to read me because I wasn't able to show you emotions,
Hmm.
would that make me get frustrated? Because,
You would. I know you would.
yeah, because I can't show you how I'm feeling.
Yeah. But
And
I
then you'd be like, well,
but I am feeling that. Yeah.
I am sad. I'm really sad.
I can't show it. I could feel it.
Yeah.
It's tough,
Okay.
but still,
Mm.
I'd definitely tell I would definitely take the not showing than not feeling.
Then feeling, yeah,
Yeah.
because at least you want to feel something.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. All right, next one is, would you rather lose all of your memories
Ooh. Okay.
or never be able to create new memories?
Sheesh.
That's really
Um,
hard.
it's not for me. There's a loophole to this
Here we go. Go on.
because we vlog
I was going to say it's going to
and
be
we
like
take
50 First Dates
photos.
style.
We take
You know that
photos.
movie?
Yes, I love that movie.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Where like they have
Yeah.
the book. Oh, I actually asked you this the other day. Didn't I? Like, randomly. I was like, if I forgot you, if
Oh
I
yeah,
woke
you
up
did.
I fully
You
asked
asked me
Alan.
this
I was
yesterday or
like, if
today.
I had amnesia and I woke up and I didn't remember you, are you gonna still try and convince me that we're in a long distance relationship? And he was like, well, we've got all the vlogs. Like,
Right.
if that's any proof, and I'm the one who like recorded it, like it's from my
Yeah.
point of view. So yeah, I personally, I can lose all my old memories, because
Me too.
how can you live life not creating new ones?
Right. I'd
What, like,
rather
how would you
create
even
new
live?
ones than definitely. I'd literally vlog my whole life and I document the whole life, and at least I could look back and
Mm,
look at it in film. You know, and I was telling
yeah.
you the other day, I'm like, you're lucky that you were able to see yourself when you were 21 years old. Actually, you know what? Looking back at, I remember I was telling you, oh, I'm so happy you were able to look back at your old YouTube channel and, look at your first video that you put out when you were 21,
Yeah.
and you could see
Uh-huh.
yourself at least talking. You could hear how young you
How I
sound and how
sound,
you
yeah.
look.
I
Um,
hate it, but it's like
the
good
only,
to have.
the only like video I have when I was 21, just even
Mm.
funnier, is because I was showing my daughter this the other day. And it's so embarrassing to say now, but it was fun at the time. I was in when I was in college, when I was 21, I
Wait,
was,
have I seen this video?
I think you have, I think I've showed you, but I was in that TLC video.
Oh,
I didn't really talk or
yes.
anything, but the
Okay.
whole thing was, it was the first video they did with, Left Eye passing away, and
Mhm.
they were doing a song that she was in, and it was their first video that they did without her. So it was really
Mm.
special with them, and I was signed under a model agency in South Beach, in Florida, and I was excited. I mean, it was TLC. It's a big, one of the biggest group growing up,
Mhm.
and to be able to be part of it was pretty fun. It's kind
And that's
of,
the only video you have of yourself from when you were
I
21.
that's it. That's the
That's
only thing.
crazy.
Like, I've had, obviously I have like my graduation photos and stuff like that when I'm 21,
Mm.
but like video wise, that's the only thing I can remember being
Yeah, that's
at
crazy
21.
because yeah, to in this day and age, it's
Yeah.
like you just whip out your phone and you can record
Yeah,
like
now.
anything, you
Now
know?
everyone
Back
could
then
be,
you had to have like the camcorder,
I'm
the
old.
giant camcorder
It's like this with the light
with the
with the
mic and the
right. It was a VCR
yeah.
camcorder,
Mhm.
So like we
Yeah.
didn't have iPhones, we didn't have smartphones back then. When I was in college, again, it's even funnier because it was like the scene was, it was supposed to be like a Japanese or Asian subway scene. It's like
Mm.
super supposed to look futuristic and stuff, but it's so
Yeah.
funny because when I went to college, it was in Atlanta. Atlanta
Mm.
is like Black Hollywood, you know.
Mhm.
So they had to like scrape all the Asians that was in that city.
Damn.
So, and I kind of stood out because I had braids at the time. I had cornrows,
Mhm.
so like every other Asians that was there, they're like, they look like the typical Asian looking people, like
Mhm.
guys and girls. So they're like, "Oh, we can use you as like, I need you to do this scene with T-Ba, like with Chili, and you look like you're supposed to like holler at her or whatever." I was like, "Oh,
Mhm.
okay, whatever. I just did it." But yet again, that's like the only thing I have. That's like, okay, yeah, you're right. I'm 21, and that's the only thing I have that's in video.
Aw.
So I guess it was
From your
special.
video vixen days. My fiance was a video
That's
vixen.
horrible. Yeah, it's called Girl Talk. That's the
That's
song.
hilarious.
But it's fine. It's looking back at it, it's just so cringy on my side, but it's kind of like, oh yeah, it's very nostalgic. It was pretty cool.
No, but
I was
that's
part
like
of,
I mean, if that's like
yeah.
yeah, the only thing that you have,
Yeah, because
but
there's other videos at the time that I was in, like we were there, but like they did so many cuts. Obviously, they couldn't put me on every single video I was in. It was just
mm,
a privilege to be in those type of situations.
that's like your party trick.
No, no, that's like my Al Bundy polk high. You probably don't know this reference. It's like the glory days, I guess, of like, oh,
Mm,
when I was like, in college or
yep.
when I was a
I did
kid,
this
I
and
did
yeah.
this. I'm like,
Yeah.
nah, that's nothing.
That's your
For me, it wasn't like something I'm proud of, like super proud, but I'm happy that I was able to be part of that particular video because of that reason. It was like,
mm,
left eyes passing. That was her. It was just commemorated towards her, so it
mm.
was good. It was fun.
All right, I'm gonna do one more question.
Okay.
I think this one pertains to us being in a long distance relationship because we
Okay.
struggle with this a lot. The question is, would you rather always have really slow internet or always have a terrible phone signal?
Oh
Now,
shit.
we struggle with this
Oh,
constantly.
that's an easy question though.
Really?
Yes, we
Which one would you rather?
because we are always on FaceTime audio. We need the internet. We're not really
Oh,
on.
yeah.
We don't call
Okay.
each other. We
Yeah.
don't
I
have phone
mean,
cards. We're not using any of that.
but
So
I do call you like on regular international phone call because I have that like set
well,
up
sometimes if you
sometimes.
can't
Yeah.
get a hold of me, our internet is like shitty and it's down. You call me a regular phone call, but you could also text me and say, "Hey, is your service bad?" Or but I can't live with bad internet at all. Like that's all. Like we don't even have TV. Like I don't watch TV. We watch like everything we have to upload. I'm watching and I'm doing is all online. So I
Okay.
definitely can't like live without the internet. Just because I send all my work through the internet. We
Yeah, that's true
communicate through our
actually. We need
internet.
that like good quality high
Yeah,
speed
yeah.
internet. Yeah. Okay. Scratch that. That's not going to be the last question then. We both agree we need internet.
That's the easiest one.
Here we go. Bonus last question.
Okay.
Would you
Bonus.
rather be able to stop time
Hmm.
or this is so random, not have to pay for your bills?
Oh shit, that's both good.
Yeah, they're both
Damn.
great, but like
Oh,
which one would you prefer over the other?
well,
Because like bills, right? We're talking like does that include like bills as
light
in like
bill.
mortgage repayment bills,
Shit. That if that.
like car note bills,
Okay, so
phone bill, light bill,
this
grocery does groceries count? Is that a
I'd
bill?
say
No.
so. If you could include every expenses, that's a bill, right?
Or stop time.
I will stop time. I will
Really?
stop time in a heartbeat because I can pay my bills through doing that. I can just go to the bank, cash out,
Ching-ching.
and
Yeah.
get money and stop time that way and then just
Okay.
call time out and then time in and everyone just go by their day and they're like wondering what happened to all the money and then I'll just be able to pay my bills.
So you're talking like criminal activities while stopping
That's the
time.
problem, but yes.
Okay.
As
I honestly thought you were going to go the opposite way and say like
really,
not have to pay for your bills. But like okay, essentially what are you going to do with stopping time? Like what other than like
I mean there's so many consequences about that because a lot of things can change if you stop time, right? Like
yeah.
if I'm like watching a baseball game live and I could run down and then like stop the ball from like doing a strike where the guy could actually hit the ball, it could literally
You can
change it
alter
exactly. You
everything.
could alter
Mm.
the future.
I mean like if you could use it for
Good
like
for the
good,
good.
yeah, I'm thinking like
I'm using it for the
superhero
good and
style.
bad. Like, no one's because no one's gonna know.
Like to your for your own benefit. Say
Mine
if
and
you were
other
like betting on a
others.
game, right?
Hmm.
If you're betting on a basketball game
Yes,
and you put in for like whatever stats you wanted and that person needed to make another basket in order to like for
exactly.
you to reach that, yeah. You could be like ding,
Yep, I'd go
stop
get a
time.
ladder,
Yeah.
move the ball, make it go
Yeah.
in, and then time in, and it will make the basket.
And then
I'll
you
win
win
the
your
bet. I'll
thing.
win the bet. I'll
But
win
then you have to balance that out with like doing a good deed too.
for
So like
sure.
for
I can do
example,
both.
if there was like
I'd be
God
Robin Hood.
forbid Robin Hood, right?
Yeah,
If there was any like worst case scenario, if there was like a shooting that were to occur, if you were
exactly.
able to like
Stop
stop
time.
that, yeah.
I could alter their decision. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I think I might go with the stop time
because I
too.
could pay my bills through stopping time.
Because you're gonna be stealing money.
Earning, I'd say earning money.
Earning.
Earning money by going
Okay.
doing other good deeds.
I mean, you'd have to be pretty responsible because, like you said, it can definitely change like the whole
For
trajectory of
sure.
like
Like if I'm running late picking
Life.
up my daughter, I'm like I'm gonna stop in time so I can get there on time. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, that's true.
like
Or
little things
like,
like that.
yeah, even when I think about when we travel to each other,
Hmm.
like how we gain and lose days because of our time difference. If you could
Well,
stop time, so then
the difference is
things like
if
that.
I could stop time and I'm the only one like actually moving, then that's still kind of bad. We can't like you can't be in the same position I'm in if I stop the
But what
time.
if I like was in the bubble too and you stopped the
A
time?
bubble, or if I'm like holding your
Or like,
hand,
okay, what if you like got me?
if I'm holding your hand maybe, and we
Yeah.
both I stop time and you're
Yeah.
moving as I'm moving, yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But
That'd
that's
be cool.
yeah, I definitely would do that first before
Mm.
paying all
Then
my
bills.
bills.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
I
inevitable.
mean,
Bills is gonna
bills are
come.
inevitable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. So I think that's going to be it for today's game of Would You Rather. We hope you guys enjoyed.
Yeah. Tell us like if you're watching us on YouTube, just let us know which one would you guys out of all the questions that we picked, which one you guys would want to pick, which one would you choose?
Yeah. If you have any, like, if you agree with us or you disagree on
Yeah.
certain points, let us know. And I think that's about it for today. So we hope
Yep.
that you guys enjoyed. If you're watching us on YouTube and you did like this episode, give it a thumbs up. And if you're
Mm-hmm.
listening to us on any streaming service, be sure to give us a rating, preferably 5 stars,
Five.
no less, just five.
Definitely just
Yeah.
five.
Yep, that's it. So we will see you guys in our next episode. Stay safe, stay healthy. Hope everybody is doing okay. I know things can get crazy out there, but
Mm-hmm.
positivity above everything. And we will see you guys in the next episode of the One Day Podcast. Bye, guys.
Deuces.